Welcome! Another episode of the One More Thing Tech podcast. As always, I'm your host, Quasi.
And I'm Adam.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a lot of developments in the tech world over the last, 13 days into 2020, 2026? But I
Yes,
guess
sir,
by the time
has
you
been.
see this, it would be like 17 days into 2026? I really don't know. I can't do math. Beginning of the year, and we have a lot of news, right? A lot of stuff we want to talk about. So strap in. If you're on a long car ride, this is perfect for you. If you're going to sleep, I don't know why you'd want to listen to me going to sleep, but I guess this is perfect for you too. I get wanting to listen to Adam as you go to sleep, but I get loud and I get quiet and I get loud and
What does that mean?
I just
What is?
you don't scream into the microphone.
Oh,
People. I don't know why
I
people tune
could.
in at night. It just doesn't make sense to me. But
Okay.
yeah, we have a jam-packed episode for you today. And Adam, I'm gonna let you get started.
Okay. So we have confirmation that Chase is going to be taking over the Apple Card. Now, when I say taking over, that's a bad phrase. They're going to be the new partner instead of Goldman Sachs. They're exiting. They've wanted out for a while now, and people might have questions, Quasi. This is a big jump, right? Chase is not usually known to be an incredible credit card partner for consumers due to several different factors. We won't get into that right now, but I want to clear up some questions that people might have that Apple has actually answered already. Start off the thing. Oh, the first thing is this is going to take about 24 months to take place. So it's going to take, quite some time. Not just a fast thing, but it's going to be progression. So the very first thing people should know is if you are existing Apple Card holder, you do not have to reapply for this card for it to work. You will continue to earn up to 3% unlimited daily cash back for every purchase. MasterCard is still going to be the payment network, which is good. You'll be able to pay your balance like you do now with the Apple Wallet app, which is really nice as well, and continue to have a savings account. You will also be able to use your physical card as you normally do now. That's not changing at all. You'll still be able to make purchases with the Apple Card monthly installments with the Apple stores in apple.com. And you will have no late fees, no annual fees, no foreign transaction fees. And it sounds like to me, Quasi, that overall it's basically a carbon copy of what it is right now.
Right.
And they're not going to change too much, which is a great thing. I don't want them to change a lot for this because it's a great, great product. Not just because it's Apple, because it's actually really nice. So you'll see more of this kind of take place as it rolls out and get more information as they start their partnership, which is not happening right now, but it's coming soon. And you'll see Chase on your transaction statements. So that's kind of the big thing with the Apple Card. What are your thoughts, Quasi?
I've personally never had the Apple Card. I haven't applied yet, but I've been hearing great things about it. Apparently, it's like one of the best credit cards to have. It tells you how much to pay so that you don't have to pay interest and a lot of things like that. So I think it has a lot of nice features, and I'm glad to see that those features won't be leaving before I apply for an Apple Card, right? So in the coming months, when I eventually fold and decide I want to give Apple control of one more area of my life, at least I know that the experience won't be that much different from what it was originally, which everybody, like, I haven't heard one singular person give a bad review of the Apple Card. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I just think that the Apple Card is pretty great. Speaking of things that are going to be pretty great, though, Adam, did you know that Siri is finally getting her makeover? Oh my goodness, she activated. She's finally getting her makeover that she's been wanting since 2024.
Okay, one thing I want to bring up with this before we get too into it is I had someone say yesterday, oh, this is new news. It said, it's not. We discussed this in the podcast and we had this information quite early that Gemini is going to be one of the main backing AI partners with Apple. So now it's confirmed, which is good to know, but as far as new information, we knew this probably months ago at this point, would you say?
Most
I just want to
definitely,
clarify
we
that
had
because,
some
yeah,
insider
we had this.
information.
It was in the beta code and stuff like that too, so it wasn't a huge surprise to us. But please proceed, Quasi. I apologize.
Yes, no worries. So, Apple has just confirmed that Google's Gemini will be powering some of Siri's new features, right? Now you might say, Quasi, what do you mean by that? Well, Apple already has some multi-year partnerships with Google, but now they have another one to use Gemini for to use Gemini models for future Siri and Apple Intelligence features. It should be giving us a more personalized Siri and more innovative experiences, while also maintaining Apple's privacy standards. As we know, Apple's really big on privacy, right? This deal is reportedly worth about $1 billion annually for Apple to access Google's AI technology. Adam, did you know that $1 billion is more than
nuts.
100,000
That's
or
more
whatever
than
number I said last
$15.
episode?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, that's
that is insane. It's also quite interesting to say that Google is going to agree to Apple's privacy standards because they're not
kind of
known
crazy.
for privacy holding things at all, really. I mean, but then again, they make a good product.
They do make a
You
great
know how
product.
little spam emails I get from Gmail because their spam filtering is just
Their spam
off
filtering
the
is great.
charts. I mean, some
But
get
the other
through,
day-
right?
Yeah,
Not
that's
a
what I was
lot,
about to say. The other day I got one from PayPal, but it wasn't PayPal at all. You know, I'm really surprised that they made it through Google's filtering system because it was like P, uppercase P, A, period, Y, right, and then capital P again. It just doesn't look
They're getting
realistic at all.
slick. Yeah, they're getting slick.
You know, Google's AI, or not Google's AI, Google's spam filtering system is great. We know that Gemini is great, and
Oh.
if Gemini is great, and we know that Siri is going to be using Gemini, then we can put two and two together, make four, and say that the new Siri will finally be competent.
I
And
just
see, I
cannot
can't
wait. I mean, here's the question: is it going to be essentially Gemini as it is right now for other users to ask it questions, to voice chat with it, all this other stuff, or is it going to be a tailored experience that Apple puts into their mix of things, where they're using this as a backbone for their infrastructure, but they're going to use their own twist into it to still say like "Hey Siri" and still utilize some of the core functions that they use with the HomePods and Apple Watch and everything else. That's what I want to know, and we assume that it has to happen. But what is their twist going to be? Is the question. Is it going to be? Are you going to know it's Gemini when you first start using it? I mean, obviously it's going to be a different experience overall, but what's going to make that so known that you know it's Gemini, or are you not? Or is it just going to work better, right? Is it going to be Siri's going to be a better platform because of this? These are questions that I have overall, and I'm not sure what they're going to do. And I'm looking forward to it because Gemini has exploded with how wonderful it is. Is it the best at everything? Not yet, but give it time. You know, I've used Google AI Studio, I've used various other things in Gemini asking it questions, and it's more of a personal experience, and I like that. So
Yeah, definitely.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a great welcoming thing. I know they're a competitor to Apple as a whole with Google and Android, but maybe it's time that Apple makes a shift because what they're doing now is not working as they hoped it would, right?
Correct.
So I'm excited. This is something that I cannot wait for. And I hope it doesn't just turn to a disaster. I can't imagine it will because, well, they can
Right.
only go up from here, right? I mean, and when we'll see. So I'm excited for this, for sure. The next one I want to talk about, Quasi, is a Samsung Galaxy S26 leak that we have. And it's some benchmark scores with the, I don't know how to say this, processor or GPU. It's
Exynos?
Exynos. Let's just go with that. Exynos 2600, which we've seen some good benchmarks with this. So right now, if you do a test with it, you're getting a Vulcan score of 24726. And that is pretty good with a, how many cores does it have? 10 cores for a processor. It's ARM Architect, which is really good. And it's a 2.76 gigahertz processor, which for a phone, I mean, think about this. Laptops and certain desktops use this kind of stuff still. So we're getting to a point where a processor in a big computer, right, or normal sized computer, is in a phone. And we're getting to the point where, I mean, Quasi, I just have a feeling we'll get to a spot where we're going to see like an M style processor in a phone, because they're just becoming more and more that way. And I'm liking it a lot. I like what they're doing with things. The phone's becoming more and more personal than it ever was. And to see this in a benchmark just gives me hope that we're going to see even faster chipsets. Not that what we have now is bad, right? Whatsoever. I mean, like you can get your phone open up and usable in less than 5 seconds. And it's pretty nice. So I just want to mention that we have seen a pretty nice benchmark for the new chipset for the GPU here, and it's pretty impressive. Would you say, Quasi?
I would say so.
Yeah.
But for those of you that don't know, Samsung has been releasing two models or two different chipsets in their phones for quite some years now. Like, I think overseas you get the Exynos chip, and then in the US you get the Snapdragon, or vice versa. I can't remember which one it is, but it does seem like Samsung's doing something smart with their chipsets. So, you know,
I'll give them credit where credit's due.
Where that goes. I'm very excited to see where that goes.
And see, for those who say, "Oh, why aren't you a Samsung user? Why don't you like Samsung?" I have never said the hardware of Samsung's bad. They do really good overall. I mean, we're talking about a 10 gig RAM chip, you know, in a phone, where some laptops have less still, which is mind-boggling to me. But for me, it's the OS. And it's just, I know you can customize it quite a bit. I know you can do side loading and all this other stuff. It's great. I get that. I'm so used to the iOS experience and what it has to offer and some of the security behind it that I like and privacy. And for me, it's hard to switch. You know, I just like that, and that's just me, right? And not saying everybody else has to be an iPhone user. I think this whole debate of iPhone versus Android needs to stop. Everybody has their own unique ways that they like to use their phone and what they use for their OS and all the experiences. And let's just let that be different. That needs to be, right? There's no need to be, oh, you have to get an iPhone. Like, people think if I was president, that's the first thing I make into a law that you had to have an iPhone. No, it's not. You should definitely have your choice of what you want to use. Absolutely not. But I just want to say that I'm impressed by this. I think they're going to make this better each and every year. And I'm excited to see the competition do some great stuff with this. And that's just a great example of that. So that was my second topic. It makes me happy to see this.
I will say, you said that the conversation between iPhone and Android needs to stop. That's just you. I personally like the fact that if you have green bubbles, you're getting excommunicated from the family group chat. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want, like, I'm not trying to say that to be mean, but it's just like, you're kind of detrimenting my experience if you have an Android and you're in my family group chat. We can make a WhatsApp group chat that you can be part of, but you're not getting in the one on iMessage, because we play iMessage games all the time. You know?
Oh, and we used to do that, Quasi. I used to dominate you in the pool.
All right, so actually, we're not going to sit here and lie, Adam. We're not going to sit here and lie. Don't let me pull up the receipts.
I mean, you have beaten me. I'm not saying you haven't.
I promise you, I won more times than I lost.
Okay.
Wow, there is a lot in our messages, but just I'm going to get there eventually.
Okay, well, we'll do it today. How about we just do that and see who wins? And when you lose, like, I'll have a box of Kleenex ready to go for you, okay?
I just don't lose. Okay, I might have lost, like, one match of 8 Ball, but that's about it. That's
Okay,
about it.
well, we will see
Okay,
who the victor
I've
is
decided
today.
I'm giving up on scrolling because I'm only in September. And I
Oh,
don't
we
remember
are.
what
That
it
was so long ago.
Yeah,
So
I've given
yeah,
up on it.
yeah. That you're gonna have to get like a robot or like
Yeah,
a
an
windmill to
automated
turn that.
system.
I mean, it's
It's,
crazy. Speaking of awesome systems, LaQuasi, how about the next one?
how about the next one? So,
This
ladies and gentlemen, the Steam Machine pricing. Good lord. Oh my. You guys aren't ready for this. Alright?
kind of am though.
So, we saw that Valve unveiled the Steam Machine the other day, right?
Well, I did
But they kind of didn't show two crucial details, right?
intentionally.
No, more than intentionally, you know. So we seen a Czech reset. Whew, talking is hard. A Czech retailer named Smarty that listed the Steam Machine at a whopping $950. Let me say again for those in the back that didn't hear me. $50 for the 512 gigabyte model. But let's say I want a terabyte. God forbid I want a terabyte, right? That's gonna run me $1,070. Now I know I'm bad with numbers, guys, but I'm talking 1070, $1,070 for the 1 terabyte version.
But
And you know what the worst part is? That's before taxes,
okay,
right?
here's my question, Quasi. Would you say that price point increase from the 512 to the 1 terabyte is astronomical?
Astronomical? No, it's like $120.
It's not that expensive for like double the storage. That's very intentional. And I have yet to see if this could be customizable to put more storage into it, which I cannot imagine in my brain that they will not do that. But it's expensive. There's no doubt about it. But let's just do a comparison just so you guys know. The Steam Deck, which I've talked about so much, is so powerful from when it first came out. It's getting to the point now where it's not as powerful as some of the competition. I understand that. It's a little bit older now. But that being said, this is supposed to be, and I quote, 30 times, 30, better than the Steam Deck. That is a big jump, huge jump up from where we are now with a device that can play just about, not all, but just about all the games that people play these days, right? So to see that, and they did so much research, Quasi, where they said, okay, we're Steam, we know a lot about what people play on PC and what their specs are, right? So this is over 85% of the overall what people use to play games as far as specs. So it meets just about 90% of all game requirements on high quality settings, which is insane to me. And it's just a little tiny box that I cannot wait to see come out to the market. And Val, if you're listening to this episode, we would love at the One More Thing Tech podcast to be able to test this unit to make your experience for the masses even better, because we'll review the hell out of it in a good way. I mean, I can't get enough of what Steam does. They do things a little bit different than anybody else does. They don't follow trends. They don't do most things that people just do in general, but it works for them. So when they do something like this, for the second time, by the way, this is not the first Steam Machine they've ever made, it gets me excited because it brings a whole new flavor to Linux gaming that we've never seen before. And it brings a whole different experience for the user that we haven't seen before as well. And I'm excited for this. That price point is quite high. But I have a feeling, though, it's going to be worth every single penny and then some. This is dang near portable. I mean, for like those jeans in the 70s, this could fit in your pocket. You know? It's that small.
I don't know if it's that small. How big were the
Those-
jeans in the 70s?
Those, like, you know, what skateboarders wore, or those people that had, like, you know, the bell bottoms are huge, huge. You could fit a cactus and a baseball bat in those jeans, plus wear them. So all I gotta say is this is something that I wanted to bring up because now I should clarify. This is not confirmed at all. Now this place might have this information. We don't know if this is 100% factual. This is not a source that is confirmed to be reliable, just so you know. But I have to imagine the price of RAM and all the other components and stuff like that, that this is the price we're going to see about like this. Quasi, does this entice you at all? Like, if the funds are available on day one of pre-orders, are you going to get one?
The funds were available for me. Well, if the funds were available for me, I'd purchase a lot of things on day one. But as it stands right now, I already have a PlayStation, right? PlayStation is $500. Xbox is $600, right? Switch 2.
Was.
Is it not $600 right now? Because they used to be the same price.
Did you not know that the price of like consoles have gone skyrocketing?
No,
like
that's what I'm saying. Like, the Xbox used to be $500.
Used to be, yes. That's the word.
I said now it's $600. Is it not still $600? Yeah, it's $595 for the all digital.
Okay. All digital. Oh. I mean, it's nice still, but.
Adam, when's the last time you put a disc in your Xbox? Okay. So all digital.
I think actually I've never put a disc in my Xbox, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So all digital. It's just like, it's not worth going out. Dude, I'm realizing I have a disc drive on my PlayStation, right?
Here's my question. Am I wrong in saying that the digital version of both the PS5 and the Xbox has like less specs? It's not as good as the disc version. I'm almost positive that like the Xbox and the PlayStation 5 digital versions are just not as powerful.
No, they're both just as powerful. They use the same chipset.
Maybe I'm just going crazy, which people have said before. But what I'm saying is,
S is a lot less powerful.
Yes, that's correct. I thought the discless version was just like a step down in performance. Let's have the viewers kind of compare this and let us know, because I could just be wrong, which is okay sometimes. But that's why I kind of didn't want to do it, because of that very reason. I thought it was just because of the performance was just a little bit less. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just going crazy. Yeah, digital's the way to go. Because I just don't want to buy a disc anymore. I am petrified, Quasi. I'm gonna get a disc, and walking to my household, a piano or something will just destroy the disc, and then guess what? Can't play anymore.
How would a piano just fall out of the sky and destroy your disc?
It is so possible when you have the game you want to play, and just the day just doesn't want you to. You just have those days where it's just not your day, and that is a possibility where it would miss me. It would not hurt me at all, but it could just crush that disc. But see, downloading it, the whole PSI or Xbox could blow up, and I could re-download it when I get a new one. So I like that until they just turn off that ability and they screw up my account.
Yeah, that's another thing. They can just turn it off at any time. So,
but
you have to be
once again.
Careful.
As you know, buying the disc version of almost anything now is almost useless.
This is true.
Because okay, let's say I bought a disc. I can't just put that disc in and play it. We still gotta download it.
You do still have to download it, and I think.
And if you have a Switch too,
the worst things ever.
That is about the most useless thing you can ever buy. You're basically buying and
it's $10 more expensive.
A memory of this, basically, right? Here's this little I bought this game, I'm going to put this on my shelf and never use it again kind of thing. Until you had to put it in to authenticate that you purchased the game, which is kind of ridiculous. All I have to say, though, the Steam Machine, though, I'm excited for. And I have a Steam Deck, and it's so hard for me to do anything besides that anymore. But this is a humongous, massive upgrade from the very first one. And if you don't know what that is, look into it. It was they customized things, and then third parties could be able to do stuff with it too. And it was a wonderful concept, and it just kind of died. And I don't know why. I don't get it. But this one, though, is a comeback we've all been waiting for. That's all I'm saying. So I know this is expensive. Please let us know in the comments what you think about this. And are you buying this day one? If you do, please show us when you get it in the comments with a picture of it, because that moment, you could have just made bacon, right? And tip the paint over on your foot and burn your foot. But now you age just a little better because you have a Steam machine or a Steam Deck. It does change things, right? It changes your mood. Trust me, I know. Maybe your foot will still hurt.
He's talking from experience.
I've never done this before.
He's burned oil on his foot.
But I have to imagine that if one has done that, this would ease that moment of discomfort to invoke happy.
Do you know how hot bacon grease is?
Oh, yeah. Usually when it bubbles, that's pretty hot. I cannot imagine for even a second that it has to feel good. Like no one does it on purpose. Hopefully. All to say though, I'm looking forward to the Steam machine and seeing what it has to offer when it comes out. Looking forward to Linus and other people make some review videos, and Valve. We would love nothing more than to both get one of these so we can review it for you guys. Because that would be, I don't know what I would do if they just said, hey guys, do you want to review this? And just keep it. I don't know what I would do, Quasi. I would go absolute, like, you would hear me go absolutely nuts if that happened. I don't think you understand. Over everything that you're doing, you would hear yeah! in the background from me. You would. Probably more than once. So, I'm excited. What about you, Quasi? I know I asked you a question. We didn't really get to answer it. If you had the money day one, right, and you don't have to worry about the rest of the month or whatever, right? You have the funds. Someone gets you like $42 billion, whatever it is. Are you going to buy this day one? Is it enticing to you as we speak?
Is it enticing to me? Not really, right? Like, it was beforehand, but like, you gotta understand, you're spending $1,000 and then you gotta go buy games for it, Granted, there's a lot of free games on Steam and a lot of $2 games, and if you go right now before you buy the thing, they're doing the January winter sale. You can save a lot of money, right?
But no one does better than Valve does at sales. Nobody. It's almost as popular as the Super Bowl and the Olympics in America, or across the globe. It really is. I don't think you understand. People get super hyped. It's where, as a human race, we come together and just enjoy the discounts that Valve and the developers have bestowed upon us, Quasi. And it just makes, like, well, that game was usually $70. Today it's $12. And you know what? That's just the first one. There's 28,000 more. And you can just... It's hard in your wallet. I get that. And you think it's not going to be a lot of money. But when you look at it, you're like, I spent, $250 on games today. But, that would usually be $1,000 or more. I don't think you understand.
My budget would jump off a bridge and do backflips before.
Like, they had 2K basketball for like $30.
Okay, but you gotta
which is like,
I'm not gonna buy it on the Steam machine because I can't play with Xbox users.
Well, whose fault's that? Developer.
That's not my fault.
No, I'm not saying you.
It's not my fault.
Not saying your fault. I'm saying the developers have chosen to not make a cross-platform experience. That's their fault.
Cross-platform. It's just not cross-platform with computer. People, you know how easy it is to mod a game that you get on computer?
Quasi. If someone tells me, "Oh, it's cross-platform, just not on PC," that's what that means. It's what it should mean anyway.
Dude,
right?
It's because of all the cheating. I played 2K on PC before. Playing online is the worst experience I've ever had. Let me tell you, like, there was some alien builds. Like, I'm talking people whose heads were all the way in the sky and their hands were touching the ground. Like, I'm just not understanding. I don't want to play against that in my day-to-day.
Time for Adam's rant. Developers are absolutely insanely ridiculous when it comes to anti-cheat. And I get it. You don't want people to cheat. Make it unfair for the rest. I understand it completely. I get that. Let's just understand this. No anti-cheat software that exists stops all cheaters. At all.
exactly why we
It
just
doesn't.
have to
If
prevent
that's
them
the
from playing.
reason why you're not making a actual cross-platform experience where PC can play with every other console, Switch, PS5, Xbox, PC, whatever, that needs to stop. In fact, our government should use their forces to make these developers make it cross-platform against every single platform that they exist, period. Seriously, I cannot stand that stuff. That makes you so pissed off. Stop it. You're just being like, you cannot tell me that if I make a game that someone's gonna be like, oh, you want to play on Xbox and PC? I hate you. I could be on our platform. They're not doing that. It's solely the developers not want to put a little more effort into their game. Quasi, wouldn't that be great if, like, okay, I want to play the Quasi with 2K. I only have it on Steam. He has on PS5. We can't play. Oh, I gotta buy a PS5 or an Xbox if I don't already have one, and then buy a game again just to play it? That's a silly,
Yes,
stupid
you do.
concept.
Maybe just
Okay,
don't buy it on the wrong platform.
but Quasi, my question is this. Are you gonna go through that much effort and that much funds to make that experience happen? You're not gonna
Well,
go
I just
buy
wouldn't-
$800 worth of stuff to play it with you. No one's doing that. If you do get a lot of extra money that you should give people that need it.
I think the thing is, am I initially planning on playing 2K? And if I know I'm initially planning on playing 2K, am I going to be playing offline or am I going to be trying to play with friends? If I know I'm trying to play with friends, I'm not going to buy it on Steam. I'm going to go ahead and purchase it on Xbox. Plus, they don't even have deals when it's on Steam most of the time.
They always
Right
do. Yes,
now.
they do.
Right now, you can go buy 2K on the Xbox store for like $30. Now, I know you said that about Steam earlier. Well, like, the second that deal ends, is the second that deal ends. You know what I mean?
On any platform, it's the case, right? What I'm saying is this: it would be delightfully wonderful and awesome if I could play it on Steam and you could play on Xbox or PS5. We could both play. Oh, what a concept! These little indie games do that. Like Minecraft, which is not indie, I get that. I'm talking about in general, like a Stardew Valley kind of thing or whatever. If they can pull it off, that the games are like $15-$20, why can't these AAA title games do the same thing? Like, dude, you cannot
think it's
tell me
harder.
that the 2K developers cannot afford to do something like this.
Can't
They're
afford.
just being-
Oh, they definitely can afford to. You know how much
That's what
money
I'm
I
trying
give
to
them every
say.
year?
That's what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is this: why is this not a normalized thing where cross-platform, every platform co-op can happen? Nobody that exists, I mean nobody, would be upset about that. Am I wrong?
You're not
Not
wrong.
one person would say, I cannot stand that I can play with an Xbox player. And I'm on PC. That makes me so upset. No one's saying that. That's insane. What I'm saying is make this not ridiculous so we can just play together. Because, like I said, it's going to cost me so much more money to play this cross-platform with you. Now, I have an Xbox, right? I get that. We can probably play. But, like, I just want to play a game on devices I want to play it on. And, like, I think 2K on 2K Basketball can play on Steam Deck. Now, I could play couch co-op with you if I really wanted to, right? Instead of bringing my Xbox over or whatever, right? I just, it makes me frustrated. I think as a community we should petition these companies and make them do this. Make them, because it's silly in today's society that we don't have this. I'm sorry, I went on a complete thing here. I'm sorry. Okay. Next topic on a great note. Apple is working on a device, Quasi. Now, this is not usually a typical Apple thing. They call it the MacBook. No. What they don't typically do is make a really big budget product. And they're making a 12-inch MacBook. That's a budget one. Now, Quasi, what price would you think, just without looking, would be a budget MacBook laptop? What price range would you say this would be?
600 to 700.
That's exactly what it's going to be. What a good guess.
Oh.
So it's around $700 for this MacBook starting out. Now I'm curious to see what the specs are at that price. But people have said for years that Apple's biggest downfall would be the price point to get into their products. And they do tend to be expensive, especially the MacBook experiences. But now we're to a point with the not the studios, the MacBook Minis and all these other things that you can get a Mac for a decent price. And now we're seeing in the laptop sector of Apple that they're going to be making one this year, Quasi. That's going to be about $700. As compared to about $1,000 for a decent MacBook Pro or even Air model. So, what are your thoughts with that, Quasi? Is this something that is more enticing, you think, for people as a whole? Is this going to make them jump up to get a MacBook? Is this a gateway into it? What's the purpose of this, and why do you think this is going to happen for Mac?
Well, first and foremost, I think that, people who are looking for a budget laptop, usually they want a great experience, and unfortunately for them, the experiences are quite limited, right? And I'm saying budget kind of freely here because my computer was over $2,000, and to me a budget laptop is anything in that $600 range and under, right? I'm currently trying to help my mom find a computer for my little brother, right? And we're looking through, and I'm realizing I'm really blessed to have a MacBook as compared to some of these computers that you could buy. But I definitely think due to all the trade-offs, like it's only going to have an A18 chipset, or I think it's an A18 Pro chip. A18 Pro chipset, which is what they use in the iPhone right now. And it's also going to have some other compromises like limited Thunderbolt support and only supporting one external display. So, like, it'll appeal to users who only have basic needs, like I'm just running Word and I want to be able to play my phone through my Mac, which is really just like the best feature ever. It really elevates the.
Well, that's awesome.
But
let's not forget about the iMessage experience on a Mac.
Yeah, iMessage is nice too.
It's awesome. Like if they brought iMessage to Windows for like $50 one time, day one purchase, I wouldn't even consider it. It would be seconds. I'd be buying that.
What if it was like
now we kind of have that, but it's not iMessage. It is a Dollar Tree knockoff iMessage. Is what Windows did, and that it's so bad. It's so grueling to use it. Yeah, sorry, that was awful. Good intent, but do better. Like, actually open your eyes when you try it. Like, I don't know. That was bad. Anyway, though, this could be, I think, a great laptop for, like, maybe high schools could use this, right? Maybe if you're going into college. I'm not sure. We gotta look at the specs when it comes out. We don't know quite yet. But even Apple's lower tier chips are still really good. Like for the common needs and for most people what they do on them, this is going to be insanely still wonderful, right? I'm using, as we speak on this podcast recording, the M1 chip, the very first generation of it, not even the Pro or anything like that, with a MacBook Pro from 2019. And it is, quicker, like a speed limit sign can't contain how fast this thing is going. Like, it's so quick. So I don't think that even though they're using older model chips and stuff, it's going to be a drastically awful experience. It's going to be just less faster. But we do know that like the newer MacBook Pros with the high-end M series chips are just faster in general. But no one's going to be like, I'm on dial-up experience with this. It's going to be just slightly slower that most people aren't even going to know about, right? But I'm excited for this because it's going to give people the introduction to an Apple experience for computers that otherwise they just couldn't afford, maybe. So I'm excited, and we will bring up the specs when we get more information from Apple at the time. But I'm expecting this to be hugely popular. Quasi, we know from experience that like Apple makes some crazy products, right? They made like this iPhone Pocket and some other accessories that we thought wouldn't sell. And it went over,
serious.
like they sold out before we could even make the next episode. It was that crazy.
They made two of them.
We don't know that.
Of each color.
We don't know that.
I
think they made a lot more than that.
Go walk around Chicago and tell me how many iPhone Pockets you see. You're not going to see any. Nobody has an iPhone Pocket.
We just know you have to go to a certain state to find it more than in other states. I think.
Try to say New York or?
Nope. Such the sea,
California?
California. Am
I
I
didn't see
saying
it when I
people
was
in
over there.
California are weird? I'm not saying that at all. Don't twist the words here. What I'm trying to say is, I think we'll see more people in California using than anywhere else. That's just my assumption, because there's more of a niche kind of clientele there that would purchase stuff like this, and I think that's going. You're going to see it mostly there now. Like I said, I think they made more than two per color. They probably made thousands of them, but not as much as they probably thought they would sell out like that. So, and they're still selling out to the Equacy. So, what I'm saying is, if
They're
they bring
not
in an
making
entry
that
level,
many. You're acting like the supply is that they made one for each and every iPhone. They didn't. They made like 5 in each color, and that's why they're sold out.
or they mean like 20,000 of each, and that's what they sold out with. I don't know. It's gonna. It'd be nice to just ask that and see what the number really is. But a budget MacBook, though, I think it's gonna sell out in the first week. I think, because some people do not need a very high end MacBook to enjoy that experience. They just want entry level prices. They're on a budget, whatever the case is, and that's what they want to do. They want to just get into it, and this might allow schools to have more MacBooks maybe than Chromebooks, which I cannot wait till that happens because Chromebooks are terrible. I cannot stand them. Oh, they're bad. Like, they're only for high school people, and that's it. Outside of that, if you go to college, do anything else with it, needs to stop. Needs to stop.
I think you shouldn't even be getting a Chromebook in high school. Or
I
actually, maybe get one
I agree.
in high school so that when you buy a computer in
You can appreciate
your
it.
later years, you'll be like, oh, wow, thank the Lord I didn't keep moving on forward with this bummy Chromebook. All right?
It's
Now,
like
I'm not. Chromebooks are only good because they're great at running web apps. But if you want to open something else on a Chromebook, you might as well just not do it at all. You know what I mean?
the experience of getting an actual computer from a Chromebook is like the time when you're a toddler and you went from a onesie to actual clothes. It's a huge different experience. Now I can just like enjoy taking off clothes individually, not just one piece. So that's a really weird example, but what I'm trying to say is this: Chromebooks really suck, and everybody would probably say that. And
They're not
it
great.
boggles me that people outside of high school try to use them for college and for the workplace. And you're like, outside of like going to very specific websites, this is a terrible experience. I don't
I
know.
agree.
It's just my opinion. I'm a tech guy. I just don't like them. I think they're very limited what they can do, and they need to do better, and they won't do better because they don't need to.
Well, they don't need to because like 2-year-olds or 12-year-olds are using them. You know what I mean? I feel like Chromebooks have a great purpose in schooling because there's only so many games you can play, and especially after Flash died in 2020, there's only so many games you could play, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe there's game websites that don't use Flash. I don't know. I stopped playing.
There
games
is
after Flash died.
HTML5 and stuff like that, yeah, but it's
But,
not the same like it used to be. No,
Dude,
Flash
I used
was
to have so much fun playing
Have
Flash
you-
games.
on a complete unrelated note. If you guys do not know, have you ever heard of Flashpoint.io or Flashpoint? I don't know if it's .io.
Let's take a look now, though.
If you enjoyed Flash games of your time, like me and Quasi probably, it is a open source project that brings like all Flash games or ones that you select into a like
Is that
Catalog
Flashpoint.io?
I think so.
It seems to be some sort of cybersecurity threat thing. It says cyber
No.
threat intelligence.
I gotta look this up.
It looks like it's trusted by the Department of Defense.
It's
which is now the Department of War.
flashpointarchive.org. Flashpointarchive.org. So it is they're not sponsored, by the way, just a silo topic. It is a massive platform that allows you to have a like catalog of these Flash games that you can play on your computer. It's completely free and it's open source. And if you like download the entire catalog, it's like almost a terabyte. It's a big chunky amount of stuff. But for those like me who love to play these games back in the day, this was a tremendous way to play those games, like Sunny, for instance, Blue Entire Fence games, and various other ones from like Ninja Kiwi and all these other things. And this is a great, great little app that lets you play all that stuff back like you used to, and it's offline and everything. So I think you should definitely get that if you don't have that. It's not a sponsor. I love this thing. It's phenomenal. It's open source too. So speaking of all that,
That's awesome.
this is a great episode, Quasi. By the way,
You know
though,
what we're doing.
how's Office doing, Quasi?
How's Office doing? We're doing great, but Office. The other day I heard that Office is dead, right? It was a little bit confusing, right? But now Office just isn't Office, It's just all Microsoft 365 Copilot. Let me explain something to you. The other day I was opening my phone looking for the Office app, right? My dad needed me to go get a Word document and convert it to a PDF for him, right? So I'm looking for the Office app, right? And then comes as this M365 Copilot. And I was like, I have never downloaded Copilot to my phone. Why is this here and where's my Office app? Turns out Office is now just Microsoft 365 Copilot, which was just the most confusing thing ever. Some posts claimed that Office was dead, right? And then Microsoft came out and clarified that only the Office Hub app was renamed, while all the core Office apps remain unchanged. But the rebranding is supposed to reflect the integration of Copilot as an AI assistant into the entire Microsoft 365 productivity suite, if that makes sense.
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
Do people actually like and enjoy Copilot and the integration that it has into the entire Microsoft ecosystem with 365 and Windows 11? Do people actually say, "Oh, I can't wait to play this. I can't wait to use Copilot. I just can't." It is just the coffee and Copilot. I can't wait. Does anybody get that excited for Copilot? I'm asking a general question. Because I tried it. I think, I could be wrong, it's probably the worst AI that there is. Probably the worst.
I don't know about all that.
Actually, it's the worst.
I think you could definitely
Not probably.
find some worse ones.
I don't think you can. It's
I think
awful.
we're not looking into it enough.
I've tried it. And I didn't try it like 8 minutes ago, but I don't see it being, and it is holy crap expensive. Like they
How
think,
expensive is it?
I think it's over $30 a month now.
Oof.
It's, well, okay, let's just Google it. Copilot pricing. Starts $20 a month, so it's compared to OpenAI.
OpenAI is also $20 a month. I just want to put that out there.
I don't know.
Actually, ChatGPT offered me a free trial this morning, and
Of course they
I might
would, so
jump
you
on
can
that.
get hooked into it.
I'm already hooked. I've already used it for so long,
My preference, I'm not saying ChatGPT sucks. I just, for what I tried to do things, I really like Gemini.
Well, I also prefer Gemini. Not because I don't like ChatGPT. Let's get it right. I've always been, like ChatGPT. I was an OpenAI user way back when.
Same.
Right?
Same.
But
Yeah.
I just
just
used
think
to have
like
OpenAI write all my essays back in the day.
I just think ChatGPT is nice, and they go back and forth with doing some great things, and they always innovate. I get this. I just think that Gemini has a little more personal touch, and kind of doesn't feel like it's just like a robot completely, right? You're really talking with somebody. Is how it feels. That could be. It's just my experience, though. But I don't know. I just the reason I brought this up is because I think. Zero people asked, not just one, but zero people asked for AI built into the Office apps and Windows 11 experience. So I think that people are just overwhelmed that AI is just so heavily embedded into whatever that we see that Microsoft does in these days. I think it's just too much. They need to scale it back a bit.
Just a
They
little
need to
bit.
stop using Copilot to write their own code for Windows and Office apps because it's causing issues. They need to step back and just take a deep breath and get back to what they did great. I mean, there was a time where the Office products was a really, really, really good thing, and now they're so buggy. They have a lot of issues. They need to fix that. And they can. I think they will. But they're heavily focused on like just AI everything. And it needs to be like that's not the purpose of you purchasing Office. It's not for an AI experience, it's for Office product suites. And like using Word and Excel, and like, why is AI in PowerPoint? Let's just be serious. Like, seriously, there's no need for that. I'm making a slideshow. I'm not trying to use AI to make a slideshow for me. Come on.
I don't know. Might
So
be helpful.
maybe, but it's also Copilot, which is not that good right now. So I'm trying to say is the reason why this article is saying it's dead. It's not because it's like they don't offer us a product anymore, but it's because of the issues, the bugs, the AI integrations, and just as a whole, it's too much, and people are just like scaling back from it. You know, they're using open source alternatives because this is too much. That's what we're trying to say. So, the next one, we kind of discussed this a little bit, Quasi, but we didn't really see much of it until right about now. With the cost of RAM going up, you ask yourself, what's next in this price increases of nonsense? Well, that's going to be CPUs, Quasi, and power supplies. Are you ready for that?
Am I ready for it? I don't
Because
have to
I
be
don't
ready
think
for it.
anybody is. But on top of the RAM prices being astronomical, we are also seeing power supplies and CPUs from distributors currently saying that we're going to see 6 to 10% increase, which is not a whole lot. But as an overall expense, it's way too expensive if you try to build a new computer or replace certain parts. So
Yeah.
just know that we're already seeing that that's the next big hit, and we're kind of getting a little scared about this. But we're also seeing that that's just the beginning. It's going to get even worse with this. So as of now, in this month, we're going to see about 6 to 10% increase, and then they're expected to be a lot more even in the later months.
Yeah.
So up to like 30 or 40 or 50%.
And for those of you that don't really understand what's going on with like why all the prices of computer things are increasing, basically all the AI data centers are buying it up in large amounts, and obviously they're able to pay a premium, right? So these RAM companies are like, why would I sell this to Atom for $50 to just one individual consumer when I could sell multiple of these in bulk for $50 or maybe $55 and make a little bit extra money because those companies are again willing to pay that premium. So
Yeah.
that's why RAM is getting so expensive because now it becomes scarce for the rest of us. It's like if we were all on a 4-lane road and we have 4 semi trucks in front of us and they're all going like a certain speed and we're all trying to get to the same destination. We're not all going to get there. Some people are going to get left behind, right?
What's crazy
So
is
go get your
this.
RAM now before it keeps going up.
As we mentioned in the previous episodes, some of these companies like Micron are just stopping production for consumer grade RAM and making it only for the business side. Which that in itself is scary because who else is going to start doing that besides them? And Micron was one of the top ones in the existence of world, right? So that's the scary part about this. And one thing to also know is this. And here's just a question. Which specific AI infrastructure or platform do you guys think is using the most resources for RAM, potentially like electricity or cooling power or cooling, water, whatever? Which one do you guys think is using the most of all of them? What about you,
And if I
Quasi?
had to guess, it'd probably be ChatGPT just because it's the most well-known one. That's what everyone's using. Actually, I lied. Google AI because every search that you do, they shove it down your throat. I don't need to
I
see
th-
it every search.
if I had to guess, this is me guessing, I had to imagine it's Amazon's. You might be asking why Amazon.
Talking about Rufus?
It's well, I'm not saying the consumer what Amazon has for us. I think because of what Amazon is being used for other companies, for vibe coding companies as well, which is a huge thing now, and for just overall AI backend tasks and infrastructures, Amazon has that. I mean, they're using Amazon for CDN networks and just all kinds of other route tracing stuff. So I think for the backend stuff, Amazon AI is probably being used more than the rest of them. Consumer wise, for what we're public facing using, it might be ChatGPT or Google. I mean, this is something that we'll look into and see because it probably changes by the day. But it's probably right now Google. But I think AWS is probably the bigger one as a global usage thing because far more companies are using AWS for AI stuff than most people think they are. So that's just my guess. I could be completely wrong though. All I have to say though, just if you're not in the market to get a power supply or CPU, I say CPU, power supply or graphics card. Sorry, this is time to probably get them because they're going to get up to crazy rates again, and we're not looking forward to that at all. So,
But right now, isn't it just CPU coolers and power supplies?
yes,
Not just not power supplies and stuff.
yes,
Everything
coolers,
itself, but power supply coolers.
yes.
So we should be watching.
Which is
that.
not, it's not a drastic increase now, but it's going to keep going up and up and up and up and up. Just so you guys know. Okay.
So I will pivot here. Right, we're gonna switch gears a little bit. Go back to some Apple news. The iPhone 17e could be launching as soon as next month. Right, you know they love to release phones in February and March. Like not new phones, but like the updated, some refreshes in the middle of that cycle to keep those sales running, right? And we see that the iPhone 17e is kind of rumored to launch next month. And compared to the 16e, it's coming with a couple of upgrades, right? So it's coming with the new A19 chip, obviously. You know, we'd be very disappointed if it came with the previous model's chip, right? It should have thinner bezels. We're seeing rumors of the new dynamic, or not the new dynamic island, right? The dynamic island's been here for a while, but we're seeing rumors of the dynamic island. Go ahead.
I thought it already had it in the last
No, it
model.
definitely has a notch. The 16e has a notch.
Oh, okay. Well, this would be a great welcoming feature to the new 17e.
Yep. And then it should be coming with that new 18 megapixel center stage camera, the selfie camera, and finally be supporting MagSafe.
Oh.
Because what the heck? Dude, let me tell you something. I went to the Apple store, right, in Chicago, and it was like kind of taped down to the wireless charger. It was tacky. I didn't like it, right? So it's expected to launch in February or potentially later in the spring. Probably at that same $599 price point as the iPhone 16e. Adam, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think this is a good deal, bad deal? What are we thinking?
Okay, one thing to know with MagSafe attraction with this, it's most likely going to have the 15-watt MagSafe charging, which is a great upgrade from the 7.5 watts. Then we have to just expect this is not going to have the 25-watt Qi 2 fast charger. I mean, that's just expected, right? One thing that I'm excited for is this. As much as it as a whole is not the most impressive thing I've seen for an upgrade, it's still not to be reckoned with for the price point. That is a really good price point for most people that aren't pro users, right? So we're seeing that they're bringing some features that we've had on our phones for the past couple of years to this very phone. And I gotta say, you know, I watched a John Prosser video of him switching to the E or just the non-pro model, and he was surprisingly impressed with what it could offer, and it wasn't a tremendous jump down from what he does in his daily life. So I was pleasantly surprised that the E model was as good as it was. And like I said, not everybody is being crazy that need a pro model. people can use this. Younger kids that don't know better, right, or older people, whatever. Even just the people that just don't care as much as that we do. And like for what most people are doing, right? They go on the browser, they shop online, they go to YouTube, might play some games. This can do all that without any issues, right? Take some pictures, right? And the camera that it has is not you can't probably do times 8 or 9 zoom, but you can probably do enough to take some great pictures still. So for a price point that's going to be at about $600, that is like a lot of people can just buy that outright, more than what we could do right now with my phone or your phone, right? That's an enticing price point. I think this is going to be a great entry point into the Apple ecosystem and the Apple experience, and I think people are going to like it a lot. It's not to be reckoned with, and I think it's a great entry level phone that they're going to offer. And don't think that because of that price point it's going to suck. It's actually going to be quite nice for what it offers, I think. So, okay, this one I saw this morning, Quasi. It shocked me. It was, we've seen that Netflix is most likely going to be buying Warner Brothers, as we've discussed before. But Paramount is not at all happy about that. They thought by a landslide they were going to win, and they thought that they had this in the bag with a higher bid amount, and the whole works. But it looks like Netflix just really wants to sell to... Warner Brothers wants to sell it to Netflix more than anything else, which I think is a terrible choice. Paramount is suing Warner Brothers because of this, because they think there's some trickery going on, and they think there's not going to be a transparent overlay of what's happening with the price point and all this other stuff. So what they're saying is that they are not pleased that they were rejected, and they're trying to figure out why, basically. So they're saying that Warner Bros. Has failed to include and disclose any disclosures about how it's valued for the global network's stub equity. However, let's see how it's valued over the overall Netflix transaction. So what they're saying is they haven't priced this out properly where it makes sense to them, where it's public knowledge. So they think that there's some trickery going on, and that there's just some under the table deals going on, potentially this whole buyout. Now, overall, Quasi, do you think it's the best interest of the community and fans of Warner Brothers content that Netflix gets it, or would you rather see Paramount get it if you were the one making that choice?
If I was the one making that choice, obviously Warner Bros. Wouldn't be selling itself. But I don't know. I think that Paramount is definitely more consumer friendly than Netflix. Right? The other day I was trying to watch Netflix with my cousin on my TV, right? We were sitting in the house in California trying to put on Stranger Things. I don't like, maybe I shouldn't say I don't like Stranger Things. I haven't watched Stranger Things. I watched one episode. I watched episode 1 of season 5 with her, right? So she's trying to watch the finale. She wants to watch it with me. So I'm sitting there. We're trying to get it on the TV, right? She doesn't know the password to her Netflix account, so we can't put it on the Netflix app on the TV, right? So so we tried to cast it from her phone to the TV. And guess what happened?
What happened?
Netflix said, I don't think so. Why don't you do it like this? And open the Netflix app on your TV. And it was just this whole ordeal.
Well, they stopped that
I was
recently.
not a fan. Huh?
Yeah. They actually mentioned that they're stopping that casting function to TVs, basically.
Well, why? Right? That's just annoying.
It's got to be analytics. They want to see which platforms or which devices you're using it for the most. I don't know why that makes a difference.
Okay,
It's still content.
yeah, I'm still watching the show, but whatever. I'm not upset.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a
Or
lie.
what if it's
I'm very upset.
what if it's the assumption that you're sharing your Netflix account with somebody else that's not paying for it? It's something weird.
Which is exactly what was happening, because we were all going to watch off that one Netflix account. And God forbid anybody views what Netflix has without paying the $14 subscription.
Their prices are horrendous, especially
I've never seen
4K.
prices this bad.
Their 4K is pitiful. And I'll tell them to their faces That's pitiful. And they know it is. They cannot defend it. It's not good. It's terrible.
Not good at all.
No, their quality. When I say quality, talk about the file production quality is awful. It's equivalent to a DVD, basically.
Well,
If
I think that's dissing DVDs.
Yes, they were good when they came out. As a starting point for 720p or 480p is really what it was.
Hey,
Yeah.
Blu-ray discs got me through my childhood. Now, granted,
Much better.
I didn't have a Blu-ray disc reader, but Blu-ray disc.
4K Blu-ray, 4K
yes.
Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray UHD is where it's at. There's things better than that actually now, which is like it's called Kaleidoscape. Look into it. If you think 4K UHD is good, you have no idea what you're missing. Yeah.
All right.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, I just wanted to bring this up because it's a little bit of a interesting discussion, and I'm trying to see. Here's the thing. Even if Netflix loses this case, Warner Brothers loses this case, it doesn't mean that they're going to be more enticed to let Paramount purchase them. It's not really to hopefully win their bid. It's just to basically punish them for not letting them buy them out, is what it seems like to me. I could be wrong.
Something like that.
But I don't know. It's a weird thing that I've seen. I think they're just trying to make a point here, and hopefully we'll see how this turns out for them. I'm not 100% sure. So we'll kind of just see how that turns out really overall. Alrighty. Boy.
Well, Adam, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
You know, it's Tuesday for us. Have you had any interesting products this week?
I'm actually wearing it right now.
Are you?
My product of the week is a product from Olight, which I have quickly realized is probably the best flashlight manufacturer in actually all of planet Earth, all of it,
And
maybe actually all galaxies.
Wow.
I haven't really tried a flashlight from a different galaxy as of
Yeah.
right now. Shipping is a little bit more in 2 days with that, but what I will say overall is that this brand has done nothing but make me happy in every way. So this is a surprisingly incredible flashlight. It is their O-Clip Pro EDC, which means everyday carry. And here it is, so you guys can see it. It's a small flashlight, so you're thinking, there's no way this is bright. Give me a second here. I know you can't really see me, but if I just do this, my gosh, I can't even see myself think right now. It's so bright. Now, is it super bright? It's about 500 to 750 lums. Now, there's different modes of this, right? So I can turn it down. My gosh, I can't even see right now. It's so bright. And then you can do this. So here's each mode, so you can see it. And then it also has a spotlight mode, which is nice too. And then it has a red flashy mode, which to here looks a little bit crazy. I get that. But this is nice if you're a runner, right? Or you are making it known that you're out in the dark, right? Basically. So I want to bring this up because, man, I cannot see right now. I'm not even kidding. It's so bright. Any case, this Libby flashlight also is magnetic. So I can go to a door frame and just put it there, or even if it's metal, right? And it even has a little like clip on it, which I put my shirts like this, so I can just walk around like this if I need to and turn something on, or a hat or whatever, right? And I know that the $40 price tag seems high, but let me tell you, it's so nice. I mean, it's so great. So I've used this so many times. I have a lot of their products beyond just this, but I use this quite a bit, and I just love it. And I recommend this about anybody out there because it uses so many different modes that's so nice for almost any occasion. So for my product of the week, it's this Olight O-Clip Pro. And Olight, if you're watching this, we would love you to sponsor us because I will show off more of your products than you can ever imagine, probably from any other person out there, really. So that's my product of the week. How about you, Quasey? What did you find interesting this week?
Well, you know, So this is the Turtle Beach Atom game controller, right? And now you might be saying, Quasey, why do I need a game controller for my iPhone? Clearly, if you're asking me that question, you don't play enough games, and you need to go try and get one of these controllers. Have you ever, Adam? Have you ever like played Call of Duty Mobile, but plugged in your controller to play Call of Duty Mobile?
I had not put it into a controller.
Yeah.
No, but
Well, I have my Dual Sense with me constantly, right? And I was at the airport the other day, and I wanted to play Call of Duty Mobile. I put it on my iPad, and the only part that wasn't fun about it was when I couldn't find it. Like, before I got to the table, I was kind of trying to fumble and figure out how to play it on my iPad while holding my iPad up, because it's not like you could just clip it to the controller or anything, right? But I found a little table, sat down there, and I played, and I had fun. You know what I mean? So I just think controllers sometimes elevate the the level of fun that you can have while playing a game, and I think that this Turtle Beach Atom mobile game controller can do that for you, right? Granted, it is $50, but also that is a sale. You gotta understand, controllers are usually 70, $80, and this one's $80.
absolutely.
This is 38% off right now, so I think we should all jump on this. I'll get this deal right now so that we can Xbox Cloud game in peace.
Do you have this yourself?
I do not, but as you can see, it's in the cart of things that I'm going to be purchasing this week.
I understand. Okay, I'm just curious. And let me know because there's a lot of options out there for these game controllers.
Yeah,
And
there's a Backbone. I was always a fan
Backbone's
of
probably the
Backbone.
biggest. Yeah, I've yet to get one, but I've been told people that have them, they're
Well,
fantastic.
it's $100, which is why I've yet to get
Yeah.
one. You know.
They're expensive. I understand that completely. That's just how it is. Okay. Quasey, what is your app of the week? I'm just really curious about that.
Well, it comes around and around quite constantly, right? I
Yeah.
leave the game and I come right back to it. This week, my app of the week is Minecraft. Adam,
Yeah.
I'm starting another realm, right? It's probably gonna last like 2-3 weeks, and then we're gonna forget about it. But me and my friend group are gonna have a great time. We're starting it on Friday.
Am I included with this realm at all, or?
I mean, I can ask them.
Okay. Yeah, get that permission. I understand. I'm
It'll
just curious.
like every year around spring, for some reason, I just get the urge to start a new realm and just pay Microsoft an undisclosed amount of money for the realm, and then forget to cancel that subscription. End up paying for it while nobody's on for a couple months.
We used to play this at lunchtime. You remember that?
I do, over the summer. It was awesome.
I cannot tell you how much fun it is to play. Like I wish I had some more time to play Minecraft. And even the wife plays with me occasionally, but like with I keep forgetting this launcher, Quasey. You'll know off the top of your head.
Luna
Luna,
client.
yeah, Lunar Client. If you guys know what that is for Mac or PC or Linux, it is a great launcher for Minecraft. It lets you tweak little things with Minecraft, but the most important thing it does is it basically gives you a peer-to-peer network so you can play online with your friends up to like 10 people for free. That in itself is a phenomenal experience. They're not a sponsor, which they were, but what I'm trying to say is, it is a great game, and I actually played Minecraft for the very first time on my phone. That's where I first bought it. I said, I'll try it. And I thought because it looked like it was like a little kid's game that wasn't going to be good. That's what people did a lot back then. Until you actually played it. You're like, oh my God, it is awesome. It's chill mode. It's cozy. It's, you can survive without being too realistic. You can actually have a lot of fun. You can do whatever you want to do, be creative as you want to. And I could just go on an adventure. Things I like to do on is like, you just go make a world, make your little area, your base, your house, whatever. And then once you're done there, go do another one. You play with your friends. Go just browse Earth and just enjoy that like incredible music that it has with it. I love that game so much. So what a great experience it is. And then, if you really want to, I think you can use keyboard and mouse on it with your iPad and phone too. So I love that. I think it's a phenomenal thing. And to add to that, I picked Stardew Valley. Also kind of same experience. and it is, oh, what a great game that is too. And on mobile, it's just as good. I love it on mobile as well. And it's like $7 one time for so many hours of fun. I love that. So that's my app of the week is Stardew Valley. What a great set of apps this week. Like they coincide with each other really good. Just so nice.
Most definitely. Sorry. Let's try to say
Okay.
most definitely.
We are at the One More Thing segment, Quasey.
Yeah,
Did you have anything interesting happen this week?
Did I have anything interesting happen this week? Well, not this week yet, no. I started my fourth semester of college
Nice.
this week. Started yesterday at this point, actually. But by the time you see this, it'll be Friday, and I'll be on, my last day of classes for the semester. Not my last day of classes for the semester, but, like my classes for, like, I don't even know how to explain what I'm trying to say. I have classes on Friday is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Yeah, I started. My schedule is, it's not as chill as it was the semester before. But then
That's
again,
what I was told.
I'm also, I'm just a busy man, I do a lot of things. So, unfortunately, it does look like my schedule's kind of packed this semester. We're still going to get these episodes out for you every week, right? That's one thing.
And I thank you for that.
Change. But,
And when he says he's
it's been
busy,
rough.
he is not even joking. Like
Dude, I wish I could be joking. I wish I could just be saying that for attention.
Insane. Like he has to find time to brush his teeth. That's how busy he
Dude,
is.
I had to wake up extra early just to brush my teeth today.
It is crazy. He still does. I'm not saying he does. I'm just saying
Yeah, no,
it's a struggle.
Nasty.
He's on the struggle bus with time right now. I get that. It's just how it is. Colleges can be crazy or it can be a little bit, soothing at times. But this is that crunch time for some just extra, a lot of time that you have to be using for this. So, absolutely. I mean, yeah. Keep quasing your prayers for sure. He's gonna need some help this semester with all the craziness that's happening. And yeah, it's a little much. I don't have anything too crazy that's happened. Just we're back to the grind of work and just getting things done, and it's just been busy. That's what I'll say. And one of the things that I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the podcast yet, but one of my friends, my best friends, bought a Steam Deck, and we had just been geeking out on Steam Deck like crazy.
Definitely have mentioned it a couple times.
Okay, well, I'll mention it one more time. So, the reason why he pulled the trigger is because of the cost of goods going up right now. So he was assuming that deck was going to be more expensive, and it still might be, but it hasn't changed the prices yet. But, the cost of storage, he bought his M.2 2 terabyte, which is nice. So we got that subbed out for him last week. That was really nice. And just, him seeing why I was so hyped about it, and I'm still hyped about the Steam Deck. I can understand that, it just makes it's so fun that she can experience that joy with somebody else that you can relate to with this now. That's my point. So, that's really fun. And it's just, getting back to the grind of just life, nothing too crazy. But I will say this with the podcast. We are trying to make this a year of growth with the One More Thing Tech podcast. And we're asking you guys to help with this. We want to see way more views. We want to see more engagement with Discord. I will say, we are bumping up with people weekly responding and comments to a short form, and we love that. And I still get to go through. We have about 31 comments, a little bit of a dip in comments. That's okay, though. But yeah, let's get that discussion going because it's so fun. I like how people were agreeing that Roku sucks and that
It does not suck. That's a bad
that Walmart doesn't know Quasey. That was an interesting little discussion we had, and we still continue that discussion. Also, Roku sucks, and just some facts
suck.
like that.
That is such a bad
Explain
take.
why, Quasey. Why do you think
Dude.
does not suck?
First and foremost, Roku was there for you when nobody else was, all right? So let's not just...
Everybody else was. Everybody else was.
Second, I've never had a bad experience with Roku, right?
You must not use it then.
My parents, like, from 20 something to 2024 bought only Roku TVs, right? I'm having the time of my life with these Roku TVs because, right, not every TV can do this where
I
it
mean,
does, like, it has multiple channels.
okay,
But,
if
like,
they're paying you,
I love the
just blink
UI.
twice.
I love the UI and I love the screensaver.
Love the
The
UI.
screensaver of Roku might be the best part, right? Because aside from that, you're really not in the screensaver and the UI. Aside from those two things, you're really not using anything that's not in an app. You know what I mean?
If the best moment of the Roku is when it goes to screensaver, that's when you know it's not good
Dude,
experience.
what else are
Quasi.
you gonna do on a TV stream box?
Use it to watch stuff, Quasi.
Yeah,
That's the
no, I'm
point
saying,
of a
like,
streaming device.
aside from being in those two things, you're not really interacting with Roku. You're interacting with apps.
So you're telling me that like the Apple TV screensavers for Apple TV are not good, where it shows you Earth
They're
in a
okay.
different perspective? They're okay. Okay, they're incredible. First
They're
off,
okay. It's just I have those on my Mac, so I'm kind of desensitized.
okay. The reason why Roku sucks is just because they don't prioritize what they used to. Certain apps you can't get anymore. They change the way apps work for even apps that I use myself, and they restrict it so much. And people that used to love Roku, as of today, are saying that the interface and the OS in general has gone downhill like drastically. They are just not putting forth the love and the effort they used to. That's why I say it sucks. There's so much better alternatives, Quasi, is what I'm trying to say. They think they're like the best in the kingpin in this industry, and they are just not. They're not the best in performance or really anything that they offer. No one's like, I cannot, like, if someone got an Apple TV 4K, a Roku 4K, and an NVIDIA Shield Pro, they're going to take the Roku and just say, okay, I'll give this to someone that might actually want it, that doesn't have anything, right? That has a frying pan only for a TV. But
Frying
these other
pan
two
for a TV is
devices
kinda crazy.
are so better. So much better. So much better. Even the on 4K streaming box destroys the Roku experience.
I just don't think so.
I think you're just wrong. I really do. I mean,
I just
let's okay. People in the comments last week when I mentioned this agreed with me, which people don't usually do, as you can clearly tell. So if they're mostly agreeing that the Roku experience is the sucks, that means they changed things where it's the sucks. That's what I'm trying to say. They have not improved it. They went downhill bad. Like they crashed the bus and they're still trying to drive it with broken everything, right? Like it's really hard to drive a school bus with the engines on the ground. So I'm trying to say that's where they're at right now.
this is true.
It's just not good. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like it used to be a lot better than it is right now, and they need to do improve and do something besides crap. That's what I'm trying to say. Roku, if you have some questions about my comments, I'll have to talk to you about that on the podcast or whatever you want, and I'll give you some feedback to help improve your product. I'm open to that. Okay. Anyway, please we're asking you to like and subscribe, share with your friends and family, and people who maybe you don't know. That's okay too. And we'll see if this year we have a goal to have triple the views every week that we do right now, if not more. Let's even get even higher than that. Let's make it to a point where I want to come into, we record on Monday or Tuesday. Then when Friday comes out, where Saturday is a thing, right? I want to log in and see we have 5,000 views this episode, if not more. And then from there, oh my gosh, 28,000 comments, ships requests. Like I just want to see this grow, and I know you guys can make this happen because I've seen some crazy things happen this episode, right? And previous episodes as well. Let's just make this a year of growth, please, because this is so fun, and I wish we would grow a lot more and get to a point where this is a huge community and we can just be one big family of just fun tech enthusiasts, right? So That's what we aim for. We try to do really good stuff, and we try to make this thing more pleasurable for you guys as well. So if you have comments, feedback, whatever, just let us know, please, and we'll be glad to respond to them. Okay?
Will do.
Alrighty. Any closing comments, Gracie?
Any closing comments? Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week.
That could be a
I don't
Hallmark
have
card.
too much today, but
Okay.
because Adam's pretty much said it all. Guys, I hope you guys have a great week. You know, like
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
not said enough. Like we say it all the time, but you know, it's not said enough still. But not one episode would be possible if we didn't have anybody listening to us. So we appreciate you guys allowing us to be able to come out here and give our opinions again every week. And, you know, hopefully we'll see you next week. If you didn't like the episode, you probably didn't make it this far. So, you know, since you made it this far, you might as well like and subscribe, you know. It's been an hour at least. So,
Yes,
or follow
absolutely.
us on this podcast thing if you're listening to us online on, like, Apple Podcasts. Feel free to drop a review, you know. I read pretty much everything. I know on Spotify we have, like, a couple hundred reviews. Hold on, let me check
Nice.
that really quick.
Yeah, we just want to, you know, every person in group that does a podcast wants to see it grow, and we're not anybody different than that. But we want to see, you know, this weekly occurrence to be more wonderful for everybody, right? That listens to it, and you know, we can have great discussions, great topics. You know, and maybe you're like, man, they did not talk about this week. That would have been great. Let us know. Because, you know, I'm going through so many different articles and things to talk about. I had a limit today because there was so much to talk about. And maybe we can, you know, have an entire episode of what the users want us to talk about instead of what we choose. That'd be a great concept. So let us know. You got to let us know soon because, you know, when we record next, it's going to be too late. So just let us know in the comments below. We hope you have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next week, guys.
Yep, we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.